Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. I thought I would make a video talking about how I was able to get my hands on a PlayStation 5 and an RTX 3080 without the use of bots. This is not an all-encompassing guide on maybe how to do this, because of course your mileage may vary, but I did want to make this video, one, to give people some hope and, show people that normal non-scalpers can get their hands on this, people who are actually passionate about this and aren't just trying to make a quick buck, and two, to maybe give you some strategies which can hopefully help you in obtaining one of these if you're looking for them. And before we get into it, we are doing a giveaway for Cyberpunk 2077. Please consider subscribing. Like this video if you found it helpful for yourself or you think it would help others, and please share the video if you know anyone who would be interested in this. And I want to start with the PS5 because this is actually the most straightforward. This was actually back on the first wave of pre-orders, way back in September. I was able to get my hands on it, and I just want to go through my story with that. Basically, if you don't remember or weren't really paying attention then, there was supposed to be a release on the pre-orders at a unanimous universal time for all the retailers. The retailers started breaking that one by one. Pre-orders were actually coming out a bit early, and that kind of threw a lot of people off, myself included. I wasn't actually home when my preferred retailer, Best Buy, actually broke their street date for launching the pre-orders, so I was kind of in a scramble. What I ended up doing was going on the subreddit for the product that I wanted. I assumed this would work for Xbox, and I also did this for the 3080, so in this case I went on to our PS5, I sorted by new, also looked for some discords. The reason I did this was to see if people were actually getting them in their carts and able to check out, like people would confirm if they got an order. There were orders being posted on the subreddit, sorted by new. That was helpful. That basically, one, gave you hope, and two, gave you a reason to stick around, and you knew that you weren't just wasting your time. So I actually noticed that Best Buy was doing drops every couple minutes, and they were doing drops every couple minutes for a long period of time, actually. I was putting it in my cart with various degrees of success from about midnight to 3:30 in the morning. So for 3.5 hours, I was hitting the add to cart button. Hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of hope. Definitely don't give up if it just goes out of stock. They might come back in every few minutes. Be sure to check the subreddits, be sure to check the discords, be sure to verify if people are actually getting orders, and that way you'll know if it makes sense to stay on and keep trying and give it some more hope. And I can attest for that for the 3080 as well. 3080, every time Best Buy does a drop of that, you can usually expect there to be a couple of waves of it coming in. Now, I do want to talk about the RTX 3080, because this one was much harder for me to get. Basically, on launch day in September, they were supposed to be available at 9 a.m. Eastern, and at 9 a.m. Eastern, it went instantly out of stock. There was not even a second to add it to your cart, unlike the consoles. So I set up a web scraper for myself that just looked at the add to cart button, and it would send an email to myself, and that would trigger a notification on my phone if the website ever got an add to cart. And I did this for every 3080 possible. I did this all through Newegg, I did this all through Best Buy, I did this all through, at the time, Nvidia's website, and I basically did this horrible dance for months. Basically since launch day. So for 2 months, I was using a web scraper, I was using Now in Stock, I was using other Now in Stock like variants, I was reading the Discord frequently, I was frequently visiting Nvidia, sorting by new to see when drops were happening and how often they were happening, and if I could discern a pattern maybe for when they would be happening. And basically what I concluded with the 3080 hunt is that bots are horrible and they're out there, and you really just gotta put yourself in person if you want to try to beat the bots. If you can't beat them and you don't want to join them, then just do it a completely different way. So I happen to have Thanksgiving week off, and I decided I'll just go to Micro Center before opening every single day for that week, so that would give me 5 shots to maybe get my hands on a card. And yeah, hopefully I would get one. I think out of 5 shots I would have a pretty good chance. Well, as it would happen, my first day going to Micro Center, I got the 14th out of 15 cards at Micro Center, so pretty happy about that. Look forward to the 3080 review. But yeah, I think that's kind of the moral of the story for these 2 items that I ended up getting, right? Definitely consider just going in person. I would recommend Best Buy for the consoles, and I would recommend Micro Center for the graphics cards. The reason I recommend Best Buy for the consoles is because GameStop, those stores are too small to have any amount of inventory. I've worked for GameStop and I've worked for Best Buy. I have a rough idea of how much inventory could go to each store. This was a while ago, but GameStop's going to get like 4 consoles each because there's so many of those stores. Well, they're quickly diminishing. And Best Buy is definitely going to get more, and they are an electronics retailer, so I don't really necessarily trust Walmart or Target to get reliable amounts of stock store to store where I would for Best Buy. So I'd recommend Best Buy for the consoles. I would recommend Micro Center for the 3080, and that just right off the bat, you no longer have to worry about the bots getting a hold of your cards immediately. I know it sucks to go wait, but I think you have a much stronger bet if you are able to show up before opening, maybe set aside a few days to do it. I think you'll have a decent shot. The next thing I would recommend is to keep track of these communities, keep track of the Discords, keep track of the subreddits, sort by new, verify, try to find a pattern in the drops. In the case of me for the PlayStation 5, like I said, I noticed that Best Buy was still kind of doing trickle drops for hours. I think a lot of people just gave up after they saw the first wave or maybe even the first hour, seeing that they were just kind of going in and out of stock immediately. I think I had a bit of perseverance there in my ability to just stay on the line, so to speak, and continue trying. So I think definitely pay attention for waves of drops. I also noticed, like I said, this was happening with the 3080. There was always usually a couple waves of drops, but yeah, definitely I think going in person is the way to go if you can. I know that is way easier said than done, and it is also a pandemic, which really sucks, but that's my experience. Hopefully it's helpful to you guys. Anyways, I will catch you next time.